I'm ChosenArchitect, and this is All the Mods 9, and today we craft the All the Mods Star and the Bee. Hopefully you guys are ready. Welcome back to more All the Mods 9, and today is the big day. The day we craft the All the Mods Star. But not just one. No. All of them. Now, Chosen, what do you mean all of them? Well, I mean all of them that were required in order to get access to an unlimited amount of them. That's right, 2 blocks worth of All the Mod Stars equaling 18 total All the Mod Stars, and we will be able to craft those today and gain access to an unlimited amount. Now, the journey of getting to this star has been insane. We have done so much leading up to this very moment. Everything from mob farms to wither fart farming, shoot, even warden fart farming, from blood magic to Britannia and all of the magic mods in between. With the power, reactors, and machines leading us on our way, we have been able to successfully take on the All the Mod Star challenge. Now comes the part where we actually have to craft these things. And I have prepped up everything, and I mean everything, in order to do this. And it should be just as simple as just putting the ingredients that are required to make all of the individual items for the star, these items right here, and putting them together, and we're gonna need 18 of each. So let's go ahead and start with the Wither's Compass. We are going to need 18 of these, pretty much this requiring reinforced slates, which were really a pain to get because of how many we needed. 72, I do believe. The forges and the abyssal sacrifice were pretty easy to farm, and so were the hearts of the deep, and the wither builder just required you to progress through industrial foregoing. So outside of that, this one was not too bad, even though the blood magic, like I said, did take a while. Now, the next one on the list is the Dragon Soul. This one requiring you to go after the dragon with the knife to be able to get the tooth or the non-hatchable dragon egg, killing several of the bosses, whether that's the Snow Queen or if you went in towards the blue skies. Also, inactive dragon eggs, which requires productive bee progression. You needed to have gone through Britannia, gone through Ars Nouveau, killed the dragon a couple of times, and also gone through occultism, and also acquired enough to make these piglet hearts. All of this to get the Dragon Soul, which is quite a bit. And then we, yes, we're going to have to use these souls here. Looks like we can drag them through, and we should have enough for 18 of these. And I think one of the hardest things about getting this was probably going after the Snow Queen, and getting enough of those. I mean, it was all done through hostile neural networks, but that was not too bad. This whole section was honestly not too bad to farm. I honestly should be ranking all of these things in a tier list. The next one on the list is the Nexium Emitter, and this one is, well, not too bad to craft. You had to have gone through immersive engineering, and done pretty much all of the, I would call mid-game immersive engineering stuff. And then you had to have probably handcrafted this thing a little bit. The singularities are not too bad. Mechanical arms require getting into a little bit of create. The hardest part is definitely the gravitational modulating unit, and this requires you to have antimatter. Quite a bit of antimatter. I think in total for us to complete all 18 of the stars, I needed 90 antimatter pellets, which we did farm to completion, and I was able to start then using that antimatter to make nether stars, which was a pretty interesting process. But all in all, we should have everything now needed here. And some things, for example, like you just seen here, if I go to EX Changer, some of the things we have to put in by hand just because of the way MBT data works and weird things like that. But there we go. This should be 18 of these, I think. Given the railgun, yeah, I mean, I can craft on demand railguns. Yeah, these railguns must have been ones that I, for some reason, put in my inventory, but there we go. Next up is the Philosopher's Fuel, and I will say this one was quite interesting to do. Now we are going to need to hand put these things like the rainbow, coal, and flesh in by hand. So rainbow, coal, and flesh. Let's go ahead and request 18 coal blocks, just like that. That happens instantly. And then the flesh. Now, The flesh was honestly one of the hardest things to make out of this entire thing. Well, aside from the Insanite, because the Insanite was a huge reactor build that was from Extreme Reactors that we ended up setting up. Outside of that, I would say that the rejuvenated flesh for me was one of the hardest things because I had to allow the game to kill me over and over again, well over 100 times, in order to get enough of the humanoid flesh in order to do this. Which was a lot. That was quite a bit. Everything else was actually pretty straightforward. And there we go. That should be all 18 of those needed. Now, technically, we've already crafted one of the major components, and that was the pulsating black hole. And the pulsating black holes, we have already created those, and those were made inside of a pressurized chamber. Honestly, being one of the hardest things to craft up to this point, simply because you have to maintain a very precise pressure, and feeding items into the chamber is not the easiest thing in the world. And that's basically those two in a nutshell. Now, the next thing on the list can be hard if you didn't actually look into the quest far enough, and that is for the improbability probability device. This thing right here has the option for you to craft 3 different kind of storage parts, one being a fluid, one being one from AE, and one being a storage disk for refined storage. And the easiest one out of all of these to craft is actually the fluid storage part, like significantly cheaper to craft. And so we ended up crafting all of those components, and what made this so fast was simply upgrading our crafter to the max tier, allowing us to use an unobtainium furnace and putting tons of importers on here, all maxed out. And this allowed us to craft all 18 of those components in like no time flat. Now, everything else in this list is honestly not too difficult to get. Even the jet suit is relatively easy. The flight modules just require you to do a bit of wither punching, and the high density capacitor is super easy to craft, just requiring you to have some mechanism automation essentially. The batteries just need to charge up in your inventory, and then you do need more antimatter pellets, like I said, increasing that total to 90 that are needed for all 18 stars. So with that said, let's go ahead and craft all 18 and have them ready to go. This is one of my favorite parts. I can't believe we've already done this. So if I take a look at the chest piece from Astral, we'll see we do have them. It's just some of them have different data associated with them for whatever reason. I have no idea, but just a little bit of crafting here and we should be good. And there's all 18. Now, next on the list is Creative Essence, and this one we should totally have enough of. However, I do want to show you something just in case you run into the same problem that I have. We have plenty of Insanium Essence, over 28,000 that has just built up from this farm, just letting it run through the series. But you may run into the problem of, for example, having enough prosperity shards, as there's no good way to technically infinitely farm them, much like all of the other resources. To do this, it's probably best to go into the end. Now, in the end, you're going to find a ton of prosperity ore, and it's recommended to kind of silk touch one and use, for example, a digital miner to silk touch this. And all you have to do is silk touch it and make sure your configuration, if we were to stop this and reset, just make sure you have your item stack set to that block. And this is pretty nice. We have tons of prosperity ore. And then all I have to do now with that prosperity ore is grab myself an infinity wand, put it in my offhand, and then, well, just place it down. Yeah, and then go at it with your insane fortune tool, and you'll have enough prosperity to last you a lifetime. So for the Insanium gemstone block, we need 72 of them, so we'll instacraft those, and then we need, I believe, 72 Insanium blocks as well. And then that should be enough for us to handcraft all of those blocks. And here we are, enough to get ourselves easily 18 of the essence. Perfect. Now, the crafting of this next one, being the Oblivion Shard, is honestly not too bad. Now, it may look like I do not have enough Stellas, and the World Eye was honestly not too bad to make either, coming from Nature's Aura, but we have plenty of Stellas. Thanks to the bees, I have 881 Eternal Stellas in my inventory just from a bee farming. So this one is also one that is quite easy to obtain. just after you get the bees, because believe me, you do not want to have to manually craft these eternal cellas. That would get kind of ridiculous. Now, the next thing is, well, it's expensive. This is a very, very expensive item, probably one of the harder ones to obtain outside of just the nether stars overall for the all the mod stars, and that is this thing right here, the dimensional seed. And even going through and making these portals requiring these infused teleportation cores, these required quite a bit of work, honestly, to obtain, and a lot of knowledge of how these mods worked and the intricacies of Apotheosis. But outside of that, the portals are quite easy to get. It's all of the blocks that are kind of a pain. However, with enough time and enough essence, all of these blocks are honestly not too bad to get. For example, we will need a 6 times netherrack and 6 times dirt. So if we take a look at our 6 times netherrack, we're going to need 18 of these, right, for each of the seeds. And so if I go ahead and craft 18, you can see it is going to cost me 3.1 million essence to start this craft. And that's honestly not too bad of a craft. We're also going to need to do this for the dirt. 18 of those need to be crafted up. And then for the instone, we need 5 times. So let's go and get our 5 times instone up and running. And we should have all of this available to us, just like that. You can see this one requiring not so much because our instone has been farmed. Quite a bit of instone actually has already been farmed for us from our chunk destroyer. And then we need to take a look at obsidian. This all comes from our essence as well. Thankfully, all of our essence has provided all of these ingredients for us. So there's all of our 5 times. And then we just need our emerald, which is a 4 times compressed block. And we need 17 of this because we already have technically 1 of them. And there we go. All of that is ready to go. And we have already crafted up, I believe last episode, our 4 times compressed blocks of diamond. We take a look at our crafting monitor, we can see these all starting to work. And it does appear that, for example, like our obsidian, it may be a little slower because we might have obsidian here. So if I remove this pattern and put it inside of a much better crafter, we will then be able to, I think, see this craft going a bit faster now. These netherite crafters are honestly just on another level. They're so fast. Now, it is honestly mesmerizing watching these crafters work and seeing that it has 6 times compressed this, which is a ton of material crafting. And it has taken a little bit over, it looks like it's going to take a little bit over 9 minutes in total to do this. That is just ridiculous. And you can already see this is now dwindled down and is about to start going incredibly fast. And there it goes. And it is essentially done. And the dirt is following suit as well. This one is technically done. Look at that. That is ridiculous. So with that, one of the harder things to craft, we now will have 18 available to us. This is just ridiculous. I don't know if I need to keep like one of these. I probably need to put them all in my inventory to at least have them had been in my inventory at least once to make sure that all of my quests recognize it. But yes, because that is something that we also have to think about whenever we set all of these things up. But there we go. We should now have all 18 of these. Everything's coming together. And that right there is technically all of the items sort of required for the middle section of the star. But that's not all that is required for the star, because we have way more that actually had to take place outside of this, including the 15 3 times compressed nether star blocks that are required for each of them, equaling a total of 270 3 times compressed blocks, which in the nether star value equated to over 1.7, almost 1.8 million nether stars actually needed in order to complete this. And if we take a look at our nether stars, we actually have 1.8 million in here. And also several million essence that has been building up as well, even though the essence is not that great as it gets divided by 9 and then divided by 3. So yeah, you can take a look at that total and realize it's not a lot of essence. If you were doing this with essence alone, you would need like over 50 million essence in order to actually make it with just essence alone. Now, the majority of our stars ended up coming from this setup, using soul surges from industrial foregoing souls, and then just farming a ton of withers. All of these, except for a couple here, are set to withers. I think only one is set to wither skeletons or skulls specifically, and those are actually being used to make nether stars as well. And this is producing an okay amount of nether stars. If our antimatter production was running a bit faster, this would be a little bit faster. As you see, this is essentially taking one skull, turning it into 16 inert nether stars, and then those get turned immediately into 16 regular nether stars. So it's quite a lot, quite a process, but it does require a ton of infrastructure that you probably already have laying around at this very moment. So with that being said, let's go ahead and craft our 270 total nether stars that are required in order to do this. So here's the exact number. Yes, 1.77 million. That's a lot of nether stars, but it actually crafts up quite quick, as we don't have to go through the extensive processing of all of the essence. Now, another block that was actually needed, or couple blocks that are needed for the actual star, is these unobtainium alloy blocks, and these required several million RF, or billion RF, 8 billion RF in fact, and blocks of all the modium and unobtainium in order to create these. And we have way more than we actually need. I even went ahead and started making some vibranium alloy, which isn't even required in the star, just for the, you know, kicks and giggles. I have no idea why I did that. But we also needed awakened unobtainium alloys, and these needed to be awakened, so we had done those and got the exact amount needed as well. So with all of that in mind, we should be able to craft this now. We made the Patrick Star last episode, and that just required a bit of concrete, and we have several of those, and all we have to do to see that start crafting is just take a look at this by taking out all of our Patrick Stars, and now we can make a ton of them. And so now it's the moment of truth. I have to go in here behind this crafter, and I have to set all of these exporters to make sure they export the right amount. If I was just doing one, I would hand place all of these in, but because we're doing 18, I want to get them all ready to go. And before I turn this on, I'm going to make sure all of them are up and running, and then all we have to do is add our singular cog and turn this bad boy on. Man, honestly, this is a lot of time and effort. Just taking a look at our statistics alone of how much time has been spent in here. 10 days worth of gameplay in a matter of a couple of months. Not even a couple of months, like a month and a half, really, it's felt like. We are now here, and I'm about to put in all of these ingredients in order. The top one here being the Oblivion Shard that goes into this top slot. Ooh. It's my heart is honestly pounding right now. With that, ooh, it is all done. We now have everything in here ready to go and to craft all 18 stars. Wow, what a journey this has been. So here it is, the moment of truth. Every quest is now completed inside of this section. All of these items have been in my inventory at some point, and we are now ready to go and launch this. And essentially all of this will build up into this top slot here, and we will have 18 all the mod stars ready to go. Let's do this. Oh, this is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I could sit here and watch this all day long. All of these being produced. It's just so good. I mean, honestly, all of the time and effort I've put in this pack basically going into this very moment right here, which will allow us to make infinite amounts of them, making all of the creative items. I mean, that's very, very rewarding feeling. And I want to say thank you guys, all of you who have watched. I'm currently right now in the Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord, definitely join the Discord, discord.gg/ChosenArchitect. But I'm currently hanging out in the Discord. I am streaming this right now, this whole process of all of these stars being made currently. And it is just a big moment in this pack. And even though this is a kitchen sink pack, this is a very challenging task to achieve, I will say. It is not something that is 100% easy. You need to know all of the mods in order to actually do this. I think we're getting close. I think we're getting close to having, I think we're at 16 now. Total crafted. And this is 17. And this is the last one. This is 18. And so we'll have everything but the middle section done. All of our stars are done. And that is it. All 18, all the mod stars now in our inventory. And our chapter of all the mod star is now completed. But there's more. Now with all of that done, it is now time to prep up for the bee. That's right. The whole reason we made 18 in the first place was so we can make unlimited stars. And well, I think I have just the solution for this. We need to turn this into 2 blocks of all the mod star. 1 block for the conversion and 1 block for the actual farming of everything. And so I want to go ahead and put a very special suit on for the bees, because I don't know if this is going to make this bee hostile and come after me. So I'm going to put my beekeeper suit on just to be safe. And whenever we go to convert this, it should hopefully work. We spawn it in, we click it, and now we have a star bee. Okay. Whew. It does look like we're safe. And now we have the starry bee. Honestly, this is just ridiculous. Now for me to show you my monstrosity of a chamber, and I don't know if this works on the upper expansion box, but what I do have set up is I have soul surges on all of the sides except for the face, because we can't have a soul surge on the face here. I have them all on the sides, and then I even have a modular router over here that should automatically pull out the stuff that shows up inside of here, and then an importer to pull this out. So let's grab a stack upgrade, just put that inside here, and then we are going to need a productive bees max productivity upgrade. So I'm going to put this in here along with some speed upgrades and some speed upgrades from this. So let's do 3 of them, because this yet again is more about the number of operations that technically happen, I believe, right? Let me take a look, because the starry bee, for example, to get these pieces here, the shards, oh no, these actually come from the combs. So we really want like max productivity, because these are only a 5% chance to come from the combs themselves. So in this case, we probably just want productivity omega upgrades, as many of them as we can fit inside of these hives. And because these already act like simulations, this should be insane. Okay. So as soon as I put this in here, we should hopefully start seeing this work. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in my star block. And let's also make sure it is daytime. Oh, because it is nighttime. So now that it is daytime, it's the moment of truth. Let's put this bee in here and let's see it simulate. Oh boy. And I'm hoping that these all combined together will allow these combs to build up. I have no real way of seeing this in action. Let's see. Combs. I just hope to start seeing some starry combs. I don't know how quick this is going to be with just 1 bee in here. Its productivity is high, so that's great. Its endurance is strong. I mean, honestly, it should be a maxed out bee, to be fair. And we just have to hope that it actually works off the feeding slab. That's another thing that I don't know if it needs to be in the world or on the feeding slab. Oof. So after doing a bit of research to try and figure out what was going on here, apparently when the pack updated and said Industrial Foregoings was, well, or Industrial Foregoing Souls was, let's say, rebalanced, they made it so that way you couldn't accelerate, apparently, the hives anymore with all of these soul surges. Bummer, unfortunately. So instead, I guess we're just going to have to use all of our time that we stored in our bottle, right? I mean, it makes sense. Why? I mean, we can definitely do that. So yes, that's basically doing the exact same thing. And notice we already have some comb blocks building up, because apparently it was just the fact that it was going to take some time. And time I do have 150 hours almost. So yes, we can get this accelerating quite fast, and we're going to see this start to build up, and it may be in our better Yeah, if we just put max productivity upgrades in here. Yeah, and then the productivity is just going to give us more combs. And then what we can do is we can go ahead and re-enable this module, and that should put the combs in here. And if we put speed upgrades inside of here, technically stack upgrades would be better, but if we put a maximum speed upgrades in here, then that should start to pull those in quite quickly. And we should start to see these all get processed. And I'm kind of waiting, so we should start seeing all the mod star shards. So pretty much any time that we would just want probably a new star, all we would have to do is just use some of our time in the bottle to accelerate this, because it does seem like the soul surges unfortunately are no longer working. So yeah, after doing some quick digging, unfortunately it does seem like the thermal machine insulator, so I guess that's the phytogenic machine, can't be accelerated. The industrial foregoing stasis chamber, the industrial foregoing laser drill, and the productive bees advanced beehives cannot use the soul surge anymore. Oh, what a bummer. Like I said, honestly, that's okay. But what I do want to do is start the production here with our shards. So now that we have our shards, we can then start to add them all to our exporters here. And this will get the production of automated stars from bees ready to go. And then we could essentially just make more Starry Bees. Now for this, instead of using a bunch of exporters, I'm actually going to just connect all of these together and use one exporter. So then for this, it should be a little bit easier. Now I only have the this amount of exporters, so I just put that in, and then we just need the Patrick to go in here, and that is just going to automatically export all of them out. And I don't mind it being slow. This actually does not bother me at all. But look at that. And then I think we already have enough to technically make another star. And all of these stars could be used to technically go through the clicker game concept, right? Where we prestige and prestige some more. And now all we have to do is put a gear here and we can start making even more bees to make even more stars. And then we have unlimited creative items. I mean, we already have unlimited creative items, to be fair. But this is technically just making another all the mod star. Oh, look at that. Now, just running a few tests, I was kind of seeing if you could use the gene sampler on here, and it does work. However, to get the productive Starry Bee that you see right here, you're going to need to do this quite a bit, and it's going to cost a lot of time in order to get this. And it might be better to just simply craft a new Starry Bee and then build your Starry Bee collection that way, versus using the gene sample, because you would have to combine 100 of these in order to get one Starry Bee, and it took like several hours off of my time in the bottle in order to just get what we have in here. Running for just a little bit of time, I already have 10 more all the mod stars that has built up from our bee just running with those upgrades in it. And I would say that it wouldn't take me too long to make even more bees, and then this just speed would just continue to increase. So we have 5 of them in there, and then we just have more stars than we'll ever need. And then we just start using them as decoration pieces at that point. But there is something else that I know you want to see completed, and that is me clicking the button to complete all of the rewards. Oh my goodness. And that wasn't even all of the rewards, because there are still things that I have to accept in order to fully get. But we did get all of these, like, these swords and things like that. I should definitely probably open my bag here and allow this to pick up items and probably tuck them all in here, because we have things like the all the mods trophy that we've gotten from this, and a bunch of other things, all of these pedestals that we can put these things on. Just a lot of stuff. Each one of these, by the way, can give me all kinds of random rewards, including like gems, it looks like. I got some sort of spawn egg, just in shelves. These are all things that, like, at this point, ooh, that magical soil is actually kind of nice. All these things are really stuff that we don't really need, like Dice of Fate. We don't really need that. We've already done all of it. More night vision goggles, which I got super lucky and got early game. An induction cell, that's actually kind of nice. Like, those kind of things are pretty nice. 2 times compressed nether star block. It'd be really cool if we got like even more nether star blocks from all of this. there's just so many things to accept here. Now, out of almost all of the quests, these are the items we get. We get the ultimate axe of Alfred, which is really, really cool. The master of alloy, and then we get all of this stuff. And I even noticed we get these trader llama spawners, which have the lowest I have seen. It is an entirely maxed out apotheosis spawner, more maxed out than you can actually get by fully maxing out it yourself, because of the minimum spawn delay. Do not try to make it go smaller because it'll just up it back to 100. But yeah, we got llama spawners, which is kind of funny. I still have one more quest to claim, and that is this, which I get to choose either antimatter, any of these items that are listed here. Pretty interesting. I think though, maybe the wasted radioactive bees would be worth it. I think these are the ones that allow you to make antimatter, if I remember correctly. Are these the ones that produce nuclear waste? They are. So yeah, I think those are honestly the best ones because they're probably the biggest pain to get. And so there we go. And those bees do produce waste, which is kind of cool. And we also kind of get to choose a gem here, and I have no idea what gem to sort of pick in this list. I'm going to leave it for now, but I do want to go ahead and place this. The All the Mods trophy, and the last time I got this was in All the Mods volcano block, and the first thing I did was place it on the ground. Then I tried to move it and realized it just broke. Hopefully that's been fixed, but there it is. And I've also lined the walls with all of our other things: the Master of Space, Element, Sky, Reality, Oblivion. These are all the things: Master of Alloys, the Ultimate Axe of Alfred. There we go. We got them all. The Creation, the Universe, the Undead, the Master of Patrick. Yeah. And then we have our star and another Patrick star right here. And then of course we have our trophy. Wow. This is phenomenal. And I'm absolutely loving this. Look at this. We almost have enough for another star. It's just slowly building up. And also our levels are just insane. Just seeing our levels like that. Yeah, let me go ahead and store all levels. Oh my gosh, that is so much. So guys, with that, I think I'm gonna have to call it here. Yeah, it's been an insane episode. Now, I do have plans on making some creative items from here. So, like, if not all of them. So let me know down in the comments below, what item do you think I should make first? I would love to hear from you down in the comment. And what's your favorite creative item? I definitely will let you know next episode what my favorite one is. because honestly, as if I haven't already told you, I probably have already spilled the beans. But anyways, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and give this video a huge thumbs up. A ton of hours have gone into making this thing behind me, so at least you could do, I guess, would be a good old thumbs up. And guys, I do appreciate you very, very much for watching. And it's now time to thank the amazing supporter of today's episode. And that amazing thanks is going to go out to Mustached Ranger. Thank you so much, by the way, for your amazing support and supporting me in one of the best ways possible. And that is through the Discord by becoming a Discord premium member and supporting me in one of the best ways possible. And also getting access to the world downloads and also access to the supporter servers and all kinds of amazing channels and fun perks over on the Discord. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye.